Welcome to another episode of the A-List Movie Club. I am your host, the Game Changer, Wes Truth. And with me, as always, are Dominic and John. How's it going tonight, guys?
Good.
All right. And of course, normally this is the show where each one of us will pick a different movie each week. But this week we're celebrating our 6th month of the show. So we figured we'd do something a little different, a little special for everybody to get to know us a little better, our tastes and whatnot. And that is we're going to count down our top 20 movies, each one of us. So this should be very interesting. We set a few rules for each other, like to sort of help each other with making these lists. We're counting the Star Wars original trilogy as one pick, Avengers Infinity War and Endgame as one, The Godfather and The Godfather Part II as one, and the Lord of the Rings trilogy as one. So we're just throwing those out there in case anybody wants to pick them, that those count as one pick. So I guess let's just get started, and we'll go in our usual roundabout fashion here. Dominic, you want to kick it off with number 20?
No. Okay. So this movie, I actually didn't care for the first time I saw it, but rewatched it and I loved it. My number 20 is Hereditary.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. My number 20 is, again, this list for me is movies I can watch over and over and over again. You're tired of them. If I flip through the channels and I find it in the middle of it, I can still watch it, and I know where I'm at. Or things I can quote, or anything like that. So my number 20 is Happy Gilmore.
Oh, nice.
Probably the best Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah.
I can still quote it. It's still funny. How many times I've seen it.
Yeah, that's a good one. My number 20 is also a horror movie, and that is A Nightmare on Elm Street. The original. the Robert Englund one, directed by Wes Craven. Watched it as a kid and loved it. Still love it today.
Okay, number 19 was a movie I resisted watching for a long, long time. It's a Marvel movie that is the story of a character that I'd never really read the comic books on or anything like that. But I watched it, loved it. My number 19 is Doctor Strange.
Wow.
Ooh. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Definitely.
My number 19 is a movie I saw when I was a kid, and it scared the shit out of me. And now I just appreciate it as the great sci-fi horror movie that it is. The first Alien.
Yeah.
A good one.
I mean, I like mostly all of them, but the first one's the best.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of people like Aliens, but I think the first one's my favorite
Come
too.
over, man. Come over.
All right.
Aliens is good.
Oh yeah, definitely. So my number 19 is a movie. It's a comedy. This is a film that I definitely loved as a kid, and I have the pictures to prove it because I used to dress up like the main character, and that is Mrs. Doubtfire. I definitely, as a kid, loved this movie, and I still do. Robin Williams is great in this. Just a classic comedy.
Okay, number 18 for me is a movie that I absolutely loved from the first time I saw it. It's my favorite Clint Eastwood movie. It's Dirty Harry.
Good pick. Oh. Number 18 is a James Cameron movie. It's a great movie. I saw it when I was younger, and I love it, and I still do. Terminator 2.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. For me, my number 18, I don't know the first time I saw this. I wasn't a kid. It was but not too recent. Everyone loves this movie. One of Steven Spielberg's best for sure, and that is Jaws.
Classic.
And I think I actually rode the theme park ride before I saw the movie, and that scared the crap out of me as a kid. But yeah, a great ride and a great movie.
That's a good one.
John,
Yeah.
my number 17 movie is
Monkey
the
Head?
original Terminator.
Oh, that's good too.
I think because that movie was different than anything that had ever, and the effects at the time were spectacular. Great movie.
Oh yeah, no argument for me. That's a great movie. My number 17 is one of the more recent movies on my list. It may move up higher. I have to live with these movies for a while. This is sort of new. So, I picked Joker,
Okay.
the new one with Joaquin Phoenix. I love that movie. I've seen it 2 times, 3 times. So maybe, the more I watch it, the more I sort of live with it in my life. It might move up the list.
Right.
Yeah, it's really good.
Definitely. Yes. So my number 17, we're moving on the Spielberg train again. One of the greatest family classics of all time, E.T. Yeah, I've just always I've loved this movie as a kid. Still love it today, and love the character too of E.T.
Yeah.
It's the movie we say whenever they have a movie like this. Oh, it's an E.T. ripoff. It's like, oh yeah, I'd rather watch that than this ripoff type thing. So yeah, I definitely love E.T.
Can't go wrong with Spielberg.
Yeah.
All right, my number 16 pick of all time is the first one, Jurassic Park. to
continue the Spielberg, yeah.
Nice. My number 16 is also a fairly recent one. I was going to count both parts as one, but since I like the first one a little bit more than I like the second one, It Chapter 1.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll agree with that.
Long movie.
Yeah. I agree. I like the
first
first
put
part
together as
better.
1 4-hour movie. That's great. Yeah, the second one's very good too, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would allow that if you want to do both. Since I mean, it's basically a 2-part movie.
That's fine. You can make the whole thing. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if I put a gun in my head and I had to pick one, it'd be Chapter 1.
Right. Yeah. So somehow I did 3 Spielberg movies in a row. So the next one is Indiana Jones movie, not the Crystal Skull. It is Raiders of the Lost Ark, the first Indiana Jones film. Again, just classic film. That opening with the boulder, one of the best openings I think in movie history. It's just awesome.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, my number.
I like part
15,
3. It's funny, but they're all good.
Oh yeah. I love the first 3.
My number 15 movie of all time is the Christmas classic, Christmas Vacation. Love that movie. I'll watch it any.
I thought you were going to say Die Hard.
Nope.
My number 15, I'm going to join you guys with Spielberg. I don't watch a lot of war movies, but it's probably my favorite war movie. I think it's very well done, well acted. Saving Private Ryan.
Yep. Great
amazing movie. Unbelievable.
You can't really go wrong with Tom Hanks. My number 15.
No, or Spielberg. I mean,
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. So my number 15 is a Marvel movie, one of my favorites, obviously, and that is Guardians of the Galaxy. Just a great blend of comedy and uh, action, sci-fi, everything I love. And really, I think this was the movie that changed the way that Marvel makes their movies now, and what DC tried to copy and couldn't do of the blend of comedy and action. But yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy, definitely one of my favorite Marvel MCU movies.
Number 14 for me is a Spielberg movie, and it's Jaws. So that's the movie is the whole reason I will not go farther than shin deep in the ocean.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
You're not alone. That movie scared a lot of people.
Yep.
My number 14 is probably the best movie this director ever made. My number 14 is The Sixth Sense.
Oh, wow.
Very good. You know, I forgot about the Shyamalan movie. That sucks.
They're easy to forget other than this one.
Oh no, I love.
Yeah, I mean, I know
Breakable was great.
I like Split. Split was good. I'll give him that.
Split was great too, I thought. Okay, Wesley.
All right. Yes, my number 14 is possibly the oldest on any of our lists of a movie. This was one of the first movies I ever saw and loved as a kid, The Wizard of Oz. Just talk about a classic. I think everyone in their lifetime has had to see The Wizard of Oz at least once. Just a classic fantasy film.
My number 13 is another classic Christmas movie, and that's Die Hard.
That's a great movie. Nothing, can't argue with it.
Yep.
My number 13 is a movie I could still quote to this day. I love this movie, Clerks.
Wow. Yeah. I haven't seen that in a long time.
I've never seen that movie.
Oh yeah.
Ooh. Well, now we know of when we might do for our show.
Maybe that'd be a pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great movie.
Mm-hmm. My number 13 is a movie that definitely means a lot to me. And you'll see why. This was actually, I was in the stage production of this film, and that's the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I know this movie inside and out because I lived it for months at a time. Yes, and I still love it. If I see it on, I turn it on and keep it on. I can tell you the songs and all that. So I can't wait to actually, when it opens up again, to try to do a midnight screening of this movie, because I would love to do that once. But.
Okay, my number 12 is comedy. Again, we said these are personal favorites, not the greatest movies ever made. My number 12 is Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke. Hysterical. That movie, I still laugh so hard I cry when I watch it, and I quote that movie all the time too.
My number 12 is the second James Cameron movie, and is it still the highest grossing movie of all time? I'm not sure. Titanic.
I thought you were going to say Avatar.
Titanic. I mean, I like the Titanic stuff. I grew up with that. My dad's really into it. So he had lots of books, and we watched all the specials and documentaries. And I like the movie. I mean,
yeah.
I know people knock it and stuff, but
there's a lot worse out there than that.
I saw it 3 times in theaters, 3 weeks in a row with 3 different girls. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big deal when that movie came out. I remember seeing it in theaters a couple times. Yeah, that was great. All
The VHS copy of worth a fortune.
Oh yeah, for sure. So my number 12 is a comedy as well, and one of my favorite all-time comedies. Another one I could quote today. Another movie I always keep on if I'm changing channels. Dumb and Dumber. I saw it in the theater probably 2 or 3 times as a kid, and that was where I really started to love Jim Carrey movies. Yeah, it's just I just can laugh at it today for the 90th time I've seen it. That's the same joke.
Yep.
Avoid the sequel.
Yeah, yeah. That's what was it, 20 years later, and that was what the best they could do.
Yeah.
All right, my number 11, and see if you can group these together. My number 11 is going to be the original 70s Superman and Superman 2.
Yeah. You can put those together.
Okay,
Don't only do 1 and 2. Don't put 3 and 4.
no.
Quest for Peace.
Were fantastic. They were the godfather of the superhero movie. Christopher Reeve was, up until Henry Cavill, Christopher Reeve was super. He was, and he'll always be super.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My number 11 is my second Spielberg, E.T. I mean, I loved it as a kid. I still love it. It's a great movie.
Do you realize, John, I've only seen that movie once, and it was in the theaters when it first came out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, might be time for a rewatch.
I didn't see it in theaters because I think I was like 4 when it came out or something.
I wasn't born, so that's my excuse. My number 11, also an 80s film. Another one of my favorite comedies. Comedy sci-fi, I guess. And that is Ghostbusters. The original.
The all-girl one was much better.
Yeah. Oh God, no. Great cast and the iconic Marshmallow Man. If you've never even seen the movie, you know about the Marshmallow Man and you know about Slimer. Just iconic characters like that. Great jokes. I still quote it at work all the time. So yes, definitely love Ghostbusters.
My number 10 movie of all time is the Christopher Nolan movie, The Dark Knight. Great. My favorite of all the pure Batman films.
Not Batman and Robin?
Never saw it.
Oh!
I did not group these movies together. I decided that because you can watch one without seeing the other, and you can. So I split them up. But my number 10 is Avengers: Infinity War.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, what can you say? It's a great movie.
That is. I mean, Marvel movies well.
All right.
Yeah.
My number 10 is my favorite horror movie of all time, and that is Halloween, the original. To this day, if this movie is on around Halloween time and I watch it, for some reason it's always on trash night, and I will go out and take out the trash, and I'll go, Jesus, I better get back in the house. Michael Myers is going to get me. Very few movies will give me the creeps, and this is one of them. Just a great story and a great horror movie with actual suspense and thrills.
And that theme, when you hear that theme, you automatically know what it is.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Number 9, again, these are personal picks. Number 9, for me, is Man of Steel. I think Henry Cavill is perfect as Superman. I thought they did the movie very well. And I'm a Superman geek, so.
All right.
Yeah.
I think it's better than it gets credit for. Everyone hates on that movie. But yeah, I think it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
My number 9, I'm probably gonna get shit for being this low, but as much as I love it, I think it got better as it went along. My number 9 is Star Wars.
Wow.
Not the whole series, just first one, episode 4.
Oh, A New Hope.
Yeah. I split them
so
up.
you broke those up too.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I love Star Wars, but I think it's, if you look back and watch it, it's not as good as the other two.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still great. Don't be wrong.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. My number 9 is a movie that I watched as a kid once again and love it just as much today. I've seen it probably a million times. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. The original, not the Johnny Depp version. But yeah, that's another movie I can quote. I can't wait because it's coming out on 4K this year in a few months, and I'm going to be grabbing a copy on day 1 to check that out. Love the Oompa Loompas and all that goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Quick piece of trivia. Did you know that when Gene Wilder came out with the cane and everything, and then did that fall somersault, that was all improvised by him. No one knew he was going to do that, and he said he did that because he wanted the characters in the movie to maybe not trust him completely. All right. My number 8 of all time, the original Star Wars trilogy. Yeah, that's great stuff. Great stuff.
My number 8 is a superhero movie. I think it's really good. It's probably the funniest superhero movie I've ever seen. Deadpool.
Good pick.
That's a great one. My number 8 is a more recent movie, and it's one that Dominic and I saw in the front row, starring my favorite actor, of course, and one of my favorite actresses, and that is La La Land. A great throwback to old Hollywood musicals. Has great music of its own. Yeah, it's just a magical movie for me.
My number 7 is the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Okay.
One of my favorite books of all time. Awesome.
Oh yeah, I like those movies too. No better way to kill a weekend. And I didn't see any of the original or the new ones, the Hobbit ones. I didn't see any of those.
Hobbit sucked.
Oh.
It was all right.
Oh, what?
You didn't see the other 2 parts. It got better as it went along.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lord of the Rings is much better.
Yeah, so does Herpes.
Okay, on that note, my number 7 is Avengers Endgame.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Superhero movie that made me cry. I mean, what can you say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
All right, my number 7 is a more recent film, a Best Picture winner. I just love every moment of this movie, and that is Parasite. This is the movie that made me not afraid to watch movies with subtitles and venture out to more interesting things and different kinds of cinema and whatnot. But yeah, this is a great movie. Some great twists. Some of the greatest montages I've ever seen. Yeah, I just love Parasite.
Okay. Number 6 for me is a Quentin Tarantino movie. And I just fell in love with this movie when I saw it. It's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
That's interesting because that was my number one pick that year and your number one pick that year. Back to back. That's funny.
I've never seen it.
Oh man.
Never saw either one. Never saw Parasite or Hollywood.
Yeah.
Well, Parasite's great.
And I love Tarantino. My number 6 is The Dark Knight. For everything that you said earlier, I mean, it's almost a perfect superhero movie.
Yep.
Yeah, it's great. Never get tired of watching Heath Ledger. Seriously.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, definitely.
You want to hear another piece of trivia about that movie?
Sure.
You know how Heath Ledger was always licking his lips in that movie? It was because the prosthetic scars would start to come off and he was licking the lips to get them stuck down again.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely great performance there. So my number 6, this movie definitely was one of the favorites of my childhood. Still one of my favorites today, obviously, and that is the original Toy Story. I saw this bad boy maybe 4 or 5 times in theaters. I took anyone with me who would want to go see this. I remember counting down the days till it came out on VHS. A lot of people like 2, 3, I don't think anyone likes 4 the best, but some people like 2 and 3 the best. I still love the original because it's what brought it to the dance.
Oh yeah.
I just love all these characters. It's a great story. It put Pixar on the map. There's so many great things about it. But yeah, original Toy Story, love it.
Okay, my number 5 is another Tarantino movie, Pulp Fiction.
All right. Nice.
I love that movie. Say what again? Oh, La Royale with cheese. Yeah. Great.
My number 5 is a movie we reviewed. I told you guys it's in my top 5. Red Dawn, the original one.
Okay.
For everything I said when we reviewed it, it's just a personal favorite. I know it's not a great movie, but personal favorite.
Yep.
All right. My number 5 is, well, I guess, yeah, it would be my favorite animated film, and that is The Lion King. Woo, this one. The story I'll share with this one is the fact that I saw this in the theater with my grandma, among many other people. Again, this is one I saw a few times. And I was laughing because she was crying right at the beginning at the Circle of Life. And I was like, are you crying? You know? And when I watched it back as an adult, I started crying at the Circle of Life. And I'm like, I get it. Okay, I've come full circle. I get it. But another fantastic opening that you can't get much better than. And it's just a fantastic movie all around.
You're just a puss.
I haven't seen the live action, but I like the animated.
It's the live action. Well, then you've seen the live action because it's literally almost the same exact movie. The same script and everything.
Okay. Number 4 for me is another Christmas classic. It's a Wonderful Life with Jimmy Stewart. I'll watch this movie every time it's on.
Never seen it.
Oh man.
Incredible movie.
That'll be one Dominic will force
4.
you to buy.
Yep.
Come
My number
Christmas
4 is
time.
another one that we reviewed, dude. The Crow.
Okay.
We already talked about when we reviewed it, so.
Yeah,
Kind of
watch
silly.
the episode if you want to know why.
Yeah, I
Billy
love that movie.
some hits.
All right.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Hey,
All right.
we all won't agree on everybody's lists, right?
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'll die on my sword.
So I had a feeling this movie would be on all 3 of our lists, and it was. My number 4 is The Dark Knight. Just this movie blew my mind when I saw it the first time in theaters, and yeah, I just was amazed by it. Heath Ledger's performance. What more can you say? It's it's a masterpiece. Definitely, like you said, Dominic, the best Batman movie. And yeah, I just never get tired of seeing this one either.
Okay.
Yeah, John froze. That or he's really taking a big gulp.
All right. My number 3 is I love this movie, directed by Carl Reiner, When Harry Met Sally.
Isn't it Rob Reiner?
Oh yeah, not Carl Reiner, Rob Reiner. Yep, Rob Reiner, a great movie, just a wonderful romantic comedy.
Now, my number 3 is Return of the Jedi.
Nice.
What can you say? It's Star Wars.
Yep.
Greatness.
Yeah. So my number 3, I choose to invoke the keeping of them together, and that is Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. Because to me, this was an event, and this was something special. This is 20-some movies that led up to this. I remember it felt special going to see this, and I don't think this is ever going to be done again with 20 movies leading up to one big thing. And I was worried, how much screen time certain people would get. I thought they did it perfect. I thought Thanos was a perfect villain. He definitely deserves to be up there with some of the best villains. Just a great around all experience. It was emotional. It was funny. It just had pretty much anything. It was the best it could have been, I think, for doing that type of movie.
Okay, very good.
Oh yeah, definitely.
My number 2 movie came out in the 80s, and it basically just was took place just after. Don, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. You just didn't move. I thought you either fell asleep or you froze.
No, I'm good.
It was like my time period of like when I graduated, be The Breakfast Club.
Oh, good movie.
I can watch that every time it's on, and I can quote that movie from front to back.
It's a good movie.
Can't hold the smoke. That's what it is.
Yeah. My number 2 is Empire Strikes Back.
Okay.
I don't. Some people say it's the best sequel ever made. I don't know if you want to call it a sequel or second part to a trilogy, whatever. But yeah, it's definitely a classic.
I know what both your number 1s are then, because I know John wouldn't have this not on his list, and I know Dominic certainly would not have his on his list. And you probably figured, I'm sure you guys know my number 1 too, but my number 2 is Jurassic Park. I talk about a movie I can just watch over and over again and quote. And I saw this maybe 4 or 5 times in theaters, and I was 6. I'm going to say 5 or 6 years old. And opening night at the Fairgrounds Theater, right next to the speaker. You can imagine how that went for a 6-year-old. It changed my life. Let's just say that. I think it's really what made me really get into movies today. I remember closing my eyes when the Raptors were after the kids because I thought, oh my God, they could be after me. Just a classic film.
Oh yeah, another Spielberg. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, my number one movie of all time. You guys know it. It's The Godfather 1 and The Godfather Part II. On some lists, The Godfather is rated as the greatest movie of all time. I can completely agree with that. Another movie I'll watch anytime it's on. And again, I can quote that front to back too. Leave the gun, take the cannoli. Luca Brasi sleeps with the fishes. Yeah, that's
Opera couldn't refuse.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Still haven't seen the second part yet. I gotta watch that. The West, you probably already know what my number one is. Pulp Fiction.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, I love that movie. Tarantino's my favorite director.
All right, and you guys know what my number one is. I haven't said it yet, so I'm going to invoke the rule again. The original Star Wars trilogy. Again, this is what got me into movies as a kid. That I wanted to go to theaters and see this. I was lucky enough to see all of the 3 originals in theaters when they all were brought back in the 90s for their anniversary. And I'll just never forget that experience and seeing those original movies. And I watched them on VHS a lot before that, but seeing them in the theater was something special. And I remember the line was roped clear across the theater for all 3. They were all packed houses. So it was awesome to get to see those. Just they've always been my favorite movies, and they always will be. I think. I don't think there's anything that's going to beat it for me. So, just I love the original 3.
Very good.
Yeah, cool.
So those and The Dark Knight were the only ones I think that were all on all 3 of our lists.
Okay. All right, Wesley, let's get moving.
E.T. was it?
No, Dominic didn't have E.T.
Nope.
Oh.
All right, so that is those are our lists, our top 20 movies. How we're feeling right now, at least. Next week this time, it's my pick to pick a movie. And John, I know you said you hadn't seen this movie. Well, guess what? You're about to, because we're gonna watch La La Land.
All right. I just got done watching 2 Ryan Gosling movies, so that's fine.
Which one?
I watched Blade Runner.
Oh man.
And I watched All Good Things.
Oh, okay. I've never seen that one.
It's good. Kirsten Dunst is in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, Wesley.
So, John, you want to talk a little bit about your podcast?
Yeah, We Like Wrestling podcast. It's 4 guys sitting around talking about wrestling, past, present, classic pay-per-view reviews. We do tournaments. Anything wrestling related, we talk about it. Wherever you find podcasts is where we are. Spotify, Apple iTunes. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We Like Wrestling podcast.
All right. And of course, for me, you can subscribe right here on YouTube, youtube.com/westside515. Like the show on Facebook, facebook.com/westtruebaylist. And of course, you can follow me on the Twitter and the Instagram @WestAlist. Until next time, truth out.